Okay, everybody, so we're back here. So this will be 2 videos done in one day. I'm not going to make this a habit, but I got my homework done a little quicker than I thought I was going to do, at least most of it. I still have a little bit of programming work to do, and that paper that I'm probably still not going to do. But I figured I would go ahead and stream here while I was taking a break, or rather record while I'm taking a break. That way you guys can see what I'm doing and various other things. Now, one thing we figured out is the chisel, by the way. It's not craftable in the current version, so I got somebody to graciously donate me one, so I can actually do some chisel here. And what we're going to do in this episode is build a wall, as unfortunately, while I was AFK working on work, a couple creepers decided to visit and blow up our auto farm. So we actually have a big hole we'll have to fix. We'll hit this up shortly and get this repaired. I already have crafted a new farmer, but we'll place it down here in a second and get it set up. It does, by the way, actually harvest the crops and does do everything that a normal farmer would do. It's a little slow, but it's nice. So in about an hour or 2 hours, it managed to harvest a couple stacks worth of stuff, which is pretty good when you think about it. Anyways, we'll get back to working on this wall and get most of the mobs separated out. Now we are building out a cobble, so if a creeper does detonate on a wall, we'll lose like half the wall. So it's not that protective, but as long as it keeps most of the things out, we're pretty good. Now I think I'm using this stuff. I noticed they added a lot more craftable materials. I find that nice. Although I need to eventually go look at what they're doing code-wise, because I want to know if they're actually using metadata or if they switched to tile entities. I heard a rumor that they did, and I kind of want to check that out eventually. Yeah, we'll leave that tree there. So we're just going to build a 2-high wall, and then I'll come back through here and I'll decorate it later and make it look really aesthetically pleasing. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to leave normal cobblestone on the bottom here, even though it's not as aesthetically pleasing, but it gives me a good indicator of where I want the wall to level itself out at. That way I can come back here later and I can flatten out the ground so we have a little nicer looking village. After all, I want to kind of get a nice inner village going on, maybe a courtyard, maybe a couple gardens. I do want to build a factory, which I'll probably build a factory over here in that stony area, considering it's a little not very aesthetically pleasing. It would be a great place to go ahead and renovate completely with a big building or something. Still not sure what I'm going to put in the factory, but I could just go set up a whole bunch of crushers and stuff just for the hell of it. Or we could just make it decorative and put some crates in there, some storage, some smokestacks if we have a mod for that. There's a list of things we probably could do. And if needed, I could just go ahead and make mods just so I have something to put in my factories. Maybe put some like clay pot making systems. There's quite a few mods in here we have available, and I could just start randomly adding support for them. Yeah, looks like we're going to hit a lake here. We're almost all the way around though. Yeah, let's try to level this off real quick. One of the problems of building on uneven terrain is you don't really get a very good indication. It's almost as bad as doing... I was about to say it's almost as bad as Sky Factory, and then I had to stop for a second because I realized Sky Factory is really bad on when it comes to trying to build, because you easily fall off the edge. I'll get more cobblestone here, and yeah, it should... Oh, I'm using the wrong cobblestone. Go ahead and jump down here and pick those pieces up. Need to go collect a whole bunch of sand here later for recipes and stuff. Although I'm surprised that Chisel's crafting recipes were broke. You'd think that'd be a pretty major functionality flaw. Yeah, let's start the wall back over from here. Let's say this will be the edge. That'll put our farm right up against the edge. I'll probably build more farms outside the walls here later, just for decoration, not mainly for usage. Probably let anybody use them. We're going to have to carve a gap through this here. Don't know if I want to spend a huge amount of time like actually building up. Yeah, the ground is... I might have to go ahead and build the wall higher than anticipated just so I can get this all leveled out, or else I'm going to have to sit here and dig out with this. Which, by the way, I'm using this shovel because I want to get a little bit of bait, so that way when they do fix the mod, I can actually use the strainer and everything else. supposedly tonight's patch is going to actually fix that, and we can start collecting dirt, gravel, and a few other things. Yeah, look, there's some bait there, more bait. Shift for more info. Can be used as bait in a fisherman's trainer found by digging dirt, gardening towel. Use bait pot to increase efficiency. Maybe we can make some kind of automated system to get bait here later. If there's a block breaker, we definitely could pull it off. Might just have to use some hoppers though. Let's level this ground off so we can go ahead and finish our wall up and protect our nice little plot of land. One of the mods I probably should actually update for this would be the Artilex mod, which used to be known as the Guardsman mod. Not in relation to my username, which, by the way, if people don't know, my actual username in-game is Dark Guardsman, and then the name you actually see me on everything else is Dark Owl, although my YouTube name is also Dark Guardsman. My YouTube account is much older than a lot of my other accounts. Unfortunately, I've got the W and X tag in front of it, which I probably should fix one of these days. Go ahead and just keep leveling this. This is actually a pretty durable shovel. Usually I expect metal shovels to break by now, but this is doing pretty good. I'm actually getting annoyed at these Biome Plenty rocks. I need, what mechanism has a tool that actually can mine both stone and dirt that I could actually use? I think it's a matlock, which is designed after a firefighting tool that did the same thing, which you could use it for cutting down. Well, actually, it's not a matlock. I think matlock is Tinker's. What is the one in mechanism called? I'm never going to remember that name. But they had a tool that you could mine just about everything with, which was really nice. I have to think about the name. The only way I even knew the name was connected to firefighting was I watched a documentary where they were talking about the guy who invented it for fighting forest fires. Oh, these leaves actually stick around pretty long. How far are we from leveling this off? I would probably a while. Not the most entertaining thing in the world. And they still have the sleeping thing broken. The thing is, even if like a whole bunch of us sleep, it doesn't seem to work. So it went from being borked to completely broken in a matter of a couple days, and nothing's really changed. It just all suddenly decided it didn't want to work. Supposedly it is, of course, fixed. Although I think they're going to turn off Vasky's version of it. And they're going to go with Mobius, I think is what the other mod's called. So we should see a functional version on the server here. And hopefully as well I'm going to be able to get Grogger mixed in with these Let's Plays here. That way we can actually get a little bit more entertaining. He's a bit of the random side, so we should see a bit of diversity. That's if I can get him to play though. He's not too thrilled about the idea of playing a 112 pack. Yeah, getting a decent amount of bait. Actually not too bad. Get some chili seeds too. Okay, so we need I guess another thing. We've almost got a level down though. Yeah, you know what? Let's just make the wall higher. Just do a basic wall system here. Like his main purpose, we just want to kind of keep the creepers out of the base so I don't lose more machinery. Because what really happened is I walked straight out of the base to go check on the farm, and then right there was a creeper in the middle of the farm, and I did not see him in time. And then boom. My everything's went everywhere. I actually didn't die from it though. I was lucky enough that he decided to get caught on one of the water ponds and then blew up. Good thing is he didn't get any closer. He blew up the coal generator too, and we would have been out 2 machines instead of just 1. Not that the coal generator is not that expensive. It's actually a pretty cheap recipe. I actually go... Oh wow, there's a whole bunch of chill boxes. If you actually go this, it's actually pretty cheap. It's an iron casing, some cobblestone, and of course charcoal. Although I question the validity of using charcoal as a recipe component. Yeah, we're just gonna have to build a nubby wall for a while until I get time to decorate this. Or rather yet, I get time to level out the ground and build a nice looking one. And we're just about out of cobblestone. So more than likely what we'll do is we'll probably also build a fortress or a castle here. Get some nice little visuals. And then I'll get a couple more mods updated here so we'll have some stuff to play around with. Because I really would like some guard infantry on my walls here to shoot at monsters as they got near. It won't take me too long to update them. The reality of it is there's not a huge amount of changes, especially when you consider the fact I use custom scripts for everything. All I have to do is just tweak the custom code bits and scripts, and I can probably get it updated. So when we get ICBM updated here in the next 2 months, I'll probably drag that with it. So I really do kind of want to play with NPCs some more. And we're gonna have a hell of a time just lighting this place up. Need more stone. Another thing I want to do with the Artilex mod is actually get it to do automatic building as well. So you go like, hey, I want a wall around here, and it would actually just build the wall for you. And we're about out of cobblestone. Hopefully I've got enough of a wall going that we won't see as many zombies in the base anymore. It almost looks high enough. There's a couple of short spots here, but we'll get those patched up as I mine more. Of course, we'll get this all decorated out, looking really nice, because, I mean, cobblestone, it works. I mean, when you're playing vanilla, it works really well as a building material, especially if you combine it with, like, smooth stone and various other materials. You can get a lot of really cool visuals out of them. All you have to do is go browse around some Minecraft building galleries, and you'll find out really quickly that you can do some amazing things. Of course, we'll just do this. Yeah, we'll finish this off. So we'll probably make this a 5-high wall, maybe a 6-high. Put a what's he called? Like a parapet, I think is what you call the thing at the top where you can walk around. Actually, you really don't know. That, and of course we'll level this off here. And that should give us a thing, or as you would see in Crusaders, for those who are old enough to know that game, the keep is enclosed. I doubt any of you guys will get that. The unfortunate part with Minecraft's audience is most people are really young who play this, so almost nobody's going to get the old references. So it looks like I need to extend the wall out a little bit over here as well. Yeah, it's really... ground is really shallow over here. Oh, and we're out of materials. Let's, I guess we just use some dirt real quick just to block it off so I don't have to worry about getting attacked as much. There we go. Then, probably should fix this over here too. That'll work. Maybe this isn't a perfect solution. If I actually just kind of level this off a little bit, I think it'll work. At least one good thing I haven't brought Grogger in right away, or he would have just built a giant platform and built on top of it, ignoring everything else below. I've done the same thing as well. It kind of works, but aesthetic-wise it looks bad. Professor Prospector. What are they doing, like complaining about Worldgen? Probably should have just turned the chat off, but yeah, they've been doing all kinds of things. I have not really been keeping up at all with what they've been up to. Everybody's pretty much doing their own thing. When I originally kind of joined in on the server, I was expecting a little bit more cooperation, but it pretty much is everybody for themselves, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, it gives you a bit of diversity going on, and it allows people to kind of do whatever they want to do. I probably would have actually been worse off if we had to forcibly do groups and stuff. I'm not much of a group player. Especially considering I like to do things at my own pace, and I could sloth around quite a bit when it comes to playing Minecraft. After all, this game's meant to be played for fun, not played for, let's get to the end of the game as quick as possible. Anyways, let's go ahead and fix our farm here, and then let's get some, I guess, coal here and make some torches. So farm first, then torches, then light up the whole area so we don't see any more of those yellow things. By the way, you know how I said I was hoping there wasn't a monster that spawned in one by one? A spider got stuck under there. It took me a while to find him too. I kept hearing the spider walk around, but I used this little audio thing at the bottom corner. You see that where it points? This will actually point in the direction you're facing, and you can use it to help you indicate where audio is coming from, which is very useful for somebody who's slightly deaf in one ear. So yeah, I'll go ahead and build this up. Probably should fill in the underground there, that way there's no chance of more spawning. We'll put this down, and it should collect its own seeds and repopulate pretty quick. Of course, we'll have to fix some of the terrain, and it blew up part of the building. Guess the creeper was like, oh, you got a lot of nice everythings there, and blew it up. You know what, let's actually break out this one side here, and we can just pretend these are kind of windows. Maybe even put some glass windows in here later. Yeah, it looks okay. Doesn't look like they blew the roof up at all. That'll work. Get some torches. By the way, I actually put another coal generator over here. I did figure out you can pick these up once you craft them, so the only ones that cannot be picked up are the ones you find in villages. And let's see, what are you up to? You're just... oh yeah, it's going through the resources pretty good. And then what we can do is anytime we need resources, is we can just take a couple stacks like this, pop over here, and just process them down. We also have more black quartz, so we can go ahead and craft more machines here later. First things first, torches. Place them everywhere we see a yellow thing. And try to place them in a way that they do at least look half decent. You can always mix functionality with aesthetics. Which my buddy Shadow has yet to figure out. He always gets upset at me. He's like, oh, you're able to make something look aesthetically pleasing and be functional at the same time. It's like, it's not really that hard. You just have to start with the functionality first and then work your way towards the aesthetics. You can't work from aesthetics to functionality because it doesn't work that way. At least I haven't been able to make it work that way. I guarantee somebody's figured it out. There's always somebody who's able to like masterpiece something real easily. Okay. That. Yeah, there's a lot of spots here. What I could really use would be something like Ender, or not Ender. I think it's Extra Utilities is the mod that has a anti-spawn torch in it. That would be really useful right now. Although I believe the one from that mod is extremely expensive. Here's another destroyed building. I'd say a creeper did this, but this is a world gen failure where we got these springs here which are spawning that are just kind of screwing up things. I don't know which mod adds them, but I think the mod author is aware that there is some problems already. One of the good things is with this mod pack / server is they're doing a pretty good job about reporting issues. I've reported a few already today. Nothing major, just some simple crashes with full screen, as I've already noted. You can't full screen yet. Hopefully Vasky will fix that. Although he's yet to reply on my issue ticket, so I guess he hasn't got around to it yet. Or it may already be fixed and I may have posted a duplicate issue, which we'll find out about later. Man, there are a lot of yellow spots. We're getting to it though. This may be something I may just have to progressively do here later, is just catch all the spots. Because we don't need to get it perfectly. We can keep coming back to it. The main thing is we just want to decrease the spawn rate just enough that we don't have to worry about being constantly plagued with problems. Especially since we're going to have there's stuff that could be spawning on this wall like non-stop. I've seen a lot of people make that mistake before. They'll build a wall and they'll forget that stuff can spawn on the top of the walls. And then we're out of torches. So we got 5 more. I'll have to make some more. It's not too bad. Let's see. Torch, more torches. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get more torches. I think it's the only area we have left to light up. It's also where like a flood lamp mod would come in handy as well. I think there's a couple mods that do have floodlights. Okay, we got that, and we've got some wood, so I could just craft some sticks. I think a stack would be good enough. Looks like there's a couple spots over here that need lit up. Yeah, I need to light this crater up. Got that. And then with this, I can just put torches around the farms. This will help the farms grow a little faster as well, as the farms are dependent on light level and not actually amount of sunlight you're getting. I kind of would like if a mod actually got around to doing that, though, is forcing sunlight behavior. Even better, force it that if you put too much light in, it'll grow slower. Because the thing is, crops actually do require a rest period in real life in order to grow properly. If they're giving too much sunlight or anything, they don't tend to grow well. There's a lot of other problems as well. Because I've actually talked to people who've tried to make their own little automated farms. My dad in particular tried to do a robotically controlled farm, even after I told him repeatedly, you gotta, certain things you have to do in order for things to grow. And these are things he really should know, as my grandfather used to do a farm and everything for a good while. And, we need to level the wall up over here. There's another creeper crater. We got it for the most part. Pretty good. Oh, looks like somebody else is streaming now too as well. Looks like there's going to be quite a few people streaming consistently on this. After all, this is meant to be like the Forgecraft of lesser known mod developers. Although they're trying to get everybody. They're trying to get even Dire Wolf to join in on this. I doubt he will actually show up. If he does, it would be kind of cool. I haven't talked to him in like 4 years. It's been a long time. So let's see. Put more torches up here. Probably should just go ahead and build my way up to this so I can just walk on the wall. Torches, more torches. That actually reminds me, one of the mods I actually do need to update is Bone Torch mod, so I can craft torches out of bones instead of sticks. Not exactly useful in our current context. Actually, let's put the torch there. But it would be a mod that would be pretty useful if we go exploring the nether, because I always run out of torches in the nether. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're good. I mean, just a couple tops of these buildings need to be lit up, and that's about it. I don't know if zombies can spawn on the top of buildings. I want to say they can, but last time I looked at their code, their spawn mechanic really was only light dependent. But that may have changed here in the last couple updates. After all, I primarily still code for 1.7. I am now slightly updated with a few of the versions. Have been kind of figuring it out over time, but I'm not perfectly up to date. So my luck is that they did have changed a lot of the AI coding. Go ahead and break these leaf slime up here too. There we go. I need to tear down these destroyed buildings, because I don't really plan to do anything with them, and they're kind of just in the way. And this little corner would make a nice little garden, like fill this lake back out, get rid of this little spring, and we got these fairies, so there's got to be like a mob spawner around here somewhere. Or is it biome dependent? Where are the biomes on this thing? Hide, shift, alt to hide. I don't know, like shift and alt, maybe? There's like a debug pie that they say exists right there, but I don't know how to turn it on. Oh, maybe it's F3 shift. No, that didn't work. So what else we get? So there's usually supposed to be a system. Oh yeah, here it's called a carpial biome. That's just what the biome I mean. It's called carpial. So it's not this little spring. It's not a biome on its own. At least I don't think it is. No, it's just part of this normal biome set. So I don't know what spawns these guys. There probably is a mob spawner here somewhere. But there's too many of these guys for these to be naturally spawned. So it's gotta be like these springs or something. I keep colliding with the walls. Whoever programmed those needs to spend a little bit more time on the AIs. Okay, so let's break this water block. Maybe they'll despawn. No, I'm not seeing anything. So what mod? These are like, I think these are rustic is what these come from. If I can get close to the one to see it. We'll come back to that later. I'll reverse engineer the code maybe for that mod and see what it does. Right there, come on, come on, Blazer. I'm like way too curious for this, to be honest. But I always like flying mobs. There's not enough mods that add them. It's called something 2. Their models aren't too bad. They're a bit simplistic on the animation. To get wings to flap like that, all you gotta do is do a slight rotation on the code and it works out really well. Come on, I almost had it. Ah, come on, wait. Stay still. Okay, now I definitely want to shoot one of these with a bow. It's called Roots 2. So I'm not familiar with that mod. And I would assume there's a first version, which I haven't heard about either. But they're not too bad. They're kind of cool. They got a nice glow effect going on to them. Actually, you know what? I'm actually really interested in the glow effect, but I'm pretty sure it's just a particle effect. Particle effects, I think, in the newer versions of Minecraft are much easier to work with. Okay. Let's go back to doing everything else. So supposedly we've got everything enclosed enough now and lit up enough that we shouldn't worry about things blowing up the farms again. Let's see how much this has actually harvested since we've been walking around. Okay, so we got 37 wheat, but we are out of power. So power generation is the next thing I probably should worry about. And I see what options we have. I want to say we probably could do some kind of like biogenerator. Okay, we have a forestry biogenerator, but I don't really want to do a forestry farm. There's this thing. So it's a bioreactor. It's really cheap. Just 2 iron cases and some metal star things. Or they're empowered metal stars. Oh. We need an empower. Okay, so that's a mid-tier machine. So I'm going to say we're probably not going to get our hands on it. It's an empower. Need a double battery, a display stand. Display stands require gold. We do have gold, so that's not like something we can't get our hands on. And yes, we could actually make this. But I want something a little bit easier on my power usage. Actually, let's type in... it's called Actual Additions is what this mod's called. Oh, it's a vertical digger. I want to say that just digs straight holes. There's a firework box. Atomic reconstructor. That looks way too cheap to be useful. There's a battery box. Energizer and an elevator. Or what? How do you pronounce that? I'm fumbling with basic words here. Let's see the experience solidifier. Let's see what do we got? So we got a lava factory controller. I want to say this probably makes lava for power. So here's an innovator. Here's an energizer. Why do you need both of those for a battery box? A battery box really should, in any mod, just be a whole bunch of batteries attached to a power controller. So basically batteries on a microchip. Phantom redstone face. Phantom breaker. So I'm going to say a phantom breaker lets us do block breaking. So there's an auto breaker, which uses a void crystal. There's an oil generator. So oil generator is an option. We could make some power that way. Doesn't look too expensive. Oh, there's a composter. I think it's used to get fertilizer, but I'm not quite sure what you do with fertilizer. Automatic feeder. Okay, here's a solar panel, but a solar panel does require us to find diamonds, so that's not going to work. There's a heat collector, which I'm going to assume is basically a lava generator. There's greenhouse glass. I'm not sure what that does. So, phantom booster, coffee maker. We do have some armor available. Some bat wings. So there's the fertilizer. Acts just like bone meal. Also, that's actually pretty useful. I wonder. We do have an automatic placer, but I wonder if you can actually do anything with it. What does a leaf blower do? Oh, that's cool. Some cool stuff that's actually in this mod that we'll have to play with here later. First things first, we need to figure out how we're going to get power. And right now, charcoal's about the only thing I see that's plausible at the moment without me having to build a whole bunch of extra machinery. So if we are stuck doing charcoal, we are going to need some way to store power, and their battery box is a bit expensive, in my opinion. Where's the battery box actually at? There's a fishing net in this mod? What do you do with a fishing net? Fishing net is a block that makes fish a lot easier. Just place it above some water and it will give you... It will give you a little bit of time automatic catch fish for you. Store the fish, just place it just above the fishing net or let the items spew off the top of the collector then manually for the impatient. You need an empowered impure crystal. Okay, so we need an empowerer for that. We need a... Wow, we're going to need an empowerer for a lot of these machines. Okay, so let's look at the battery box again. So we're going to need some more gold. So I don't think I got enough to do all this. What does this hopper do? An item interface. Okay, what is an item interface? Item laser relay network. On its own, just as such a network will... How do you... I want to see the page for it. So it's an item laser relay. Item laser relay system is more complicated than its fluid and energy counterpart. However, it is an extremely powerful way to transport your items. When connected to item laser to break store, so it's basically wireless connections. What's an energy laser? Transfer CF. I'm gonna assume that's that forge power system, or and I guess in this thing it's called crystal flux. Actually, I heard that there's a slight bug with this, that it does consume power even when not in use. It's a bit cool, though. These aren't... We'll need more redstone, so I guess we get to go mining for a bit of time. Yay, more mining. Okay, let's toss my stuff away. And we'll take a stack of that with us, some dirt, that way we got something we can stand on top of if we need to. Grab our pickaxes, and go mining. So I'll be back, I guess next episode, considering we're already 30 minutes here, and hopefully have enough ore that we can start building machines.